Today we might just have the biggest payday in Park to Prem FM23 so far. Everton away, the FA Cup. We're playing them at the Bramley Moordock Stadium, which is a new stadium built, 53,000 people hopefully in attendance. We will get half of the revenue from those ticket sales, which could be absolutely massive. And you might have spotted it, Frank Lampard is still Everton manager in this save game. In fact, the man has been at Everton now for almost a decade. He's been at the club through thick and thin. If you're wondering how have they done in that time, well, they've kind of just accepted mediocrity. Right now they're 13th in the Premier League. Probably not going to win this one, but will be the real winners regardless, because the bank balance is almost certainly not going to be in the red by the time we end today's episode. Yes, folks, how is it going? Welcome back to Park to Prem. Today is episode number 58 here with Guernsey, and we are in the FA Cup, my friends. And also, we got a league match against Fleetwood Town. Not quite as sexy, but it's just the game that's after the FA Cup game, so that's why we're going to do that one. It'd be fair to say since last episode, it's been a bit weird. Of course, we took on Reading, we drew 0-0. We lost to Wigan 2-1 last episode. After that, we did cruise through the FA Cup second round against Stevenage in the league below us. And then, well, the form here, I don't know if this is good or bad form. I'll let you guys be the judge. I mean, it depends on how you look at it, I suppose. 3 wins in our last 9. 1 defeat in our last 9 league games. I don't know. I think if we just say 1 defeat, it sounds more impressive. The big headline here is we've drawn more than half the games since you were last here. Now, the highest scoring of those draws was this one against Huddersfield to kick off the month of December, 3-3, a bit of a classic. We were 3-1 down in this game, so a good little comeback in the end. Brandon Charles and Ap Sean getting on the score sheet, Earthy with assists as well. As you can see, it wasn't exactly a great team display, but we carved out a few opportunities, took them. On another day, I feel like we probably could have won this one, though. After that, just a couple of weeks after we last took on Wigan and lost to them last episode at home, we actually drew against them in the away game. 1-1 in this one. Wayne Beckford sent off for the second time this season. He's one of our better players. In fact, now he's considered one of our better centre-backs. League One quality, a player who originally was going to be a backup, but to be honest has developed so well that he now starts for us. The fact he's got sent off twice inside the first 6 months of his time at the club probably should be cause for concern. After the Wigan game, the 1 defeat we've had in this run of games against possibly one of the worst opposition we've played in this run of games. It was against Stockport County. They scored in the 94th minute. Let's move on from that to a win against Derby County. 1-0 in this one. George Earthy with an early goal. And while following on from that, lots of 1s in the scorelines. In fact, 3 1-1 draws, 2 back-to-back against Wrexham and Charlton. Away from home against Wrexham. A good point, I think. Earthy with a late equaliser for us after we had Panny sent off in the 34th minute. I'm starting to realise we have discipline problems here. Heading into the month of January, after the draw against Charlton, we beat Rotherham 2-1, of course, promoted with them last year. They have been struggling a little bit. We came back from behind again in this one. A 1-1 draw against Preston North End. Not the worst result, not the best result, but at the end of the day, we didn't get defeated, so I suppose it's a win. Most recently, we took on Southend United, and in this game here, finished 3-1. Kamara on the score sheet twice. He also missed a penalty. On another day, well, I was going to say he gets a hat-trick, but one of the goals was actually a rebound from a penalty. How do I feel about Abu Kamara at the moment? I mean, he is our top goal scorer, if I'm not mistaken, but he has scored less than a goal every other game. And I don't know about anyone else, but I feel like a goal a game or a goal every other game is probably what you aim for with your star striker. I say it like he's a million miles off it. I mean, 13 goals in 27, it's fine. Maybe I just need to accept the fact that we're not scoring as many goals as in previous years. In fact, you can see here in this run of games, kind of crazy the amount of times we only scored 1 goal ourselves. I must admit, I do find it a little bit surprising when we look at the league table that despite all those draws, we are still very much in the playoff picture. Worth noting, and this has been a scenario all year long, we've played more games than everyone else around us. Only 17 games left of the season for us. You can see here, 4 teams tied on 43 points. There's a few teams not a million miles behind us as well. So kind of got to keep one eye over our shoulders. Drawing far too many. In fact, right now, we've drawn the second most games in the league. In some financial fair play news, I have managed to solve the wage issue that we had. We had to sell Robbie Smith. He has gone for £20,000. Now, I kind of wish I'd got a little bit more for him, but in selling Robbie Smith, we have now at least managed to get rid of the transfer embargo we were under. Yeah, as you can see here, £480 surplus on the wages. Because our wage budget is way higher than the actual cap, I think I can possibly make one signing in January who is on a way higher wage than what the cap is, and then just go under transfer embargo again. I don't think I can really sign someone on £400 a week who's going to meaningfully improve us. But yeah, I might intentionally break financial fair play with one big signing. Who that signing would be, not quite decided yet. But at least to kick off today, we are going to ignore what's going on in the league. Playoffs would be amazing. Mid-table feels likely because we've got Everton to take on. Now, weird scenario here. They've moved stadiums in the save game. Of course, Everton in real life, lots of talk about the new stadium. I don't even know the latest on it right now. So I think instead today, we're going to go to Goodison Park, which is the stadium in real life. It'd be a bit difficult to visit a stadium that doesn't exist, I suppose. So, yeah, with that in mind, it's time for Jack Does an Away Day. Now, I am going to try with all my might not to be biased here as a Liverpool fan as we head to take on Everton. I'm not sure why I'm hovering over Guernsey. We're not even based in Guernsey anymore. At least for now. Hopefully we will be back in our stadium one day. And we are heading to Goodison Park, which, if we just look, is right here. I'm going to try and not be biased. I'm going to try really hard, Everton fans. I want you all to know that. Okay, first things first. In terms of car parks, weak. Is that a weak car? I'm really concerned I'm being biased. It's not. I mean, look, it's a Premier League stadium based in the middle of a city. The parking's never going to be great, but we've seen some mighty fine car parks in our Park to Prem adventures. This is not one of them. I might rescind it slightly. Someone has actually taken a photosphere in the car park. I mean, maybe it's a better car park than I'm giving it credit for. There is actually a church next to Goodison Park. I am questioning if I should be going there to pray ahead of the FA Cup game. Maybe we need some kind of divine intervention to help us today. It's very blue, innit? I mean, they do play in blue, so it'd be a bit weird if the stadium wasn't blue, but it is very, very blue. Also, does anyone else miss this Premier League logo? This is like classic Premier League era. That is the best Premier League logo. No one can convince me differently. If you were wondering, I mean, this stadium is up there with Slough FC Stadium. You can have weddings here. I know I talked about it when we went to Reading, the idea of kind of these modern stadiums that are all copy and pasted. I will tell you now, Everton fans, Goodison Park is a proper good old-fashioned football stadium, and I do have an appreciation for it. It doesn't look like it's, you've been freshly shipped in and it's all perfectly made. It's got a bit of shed energy about it, but that is actually okay. That I shouldn't really call it a shed as a compliment, but do people know what I'm on about? Please tell me people understand. All I'm saying is, if you've got a seat up here, okay, not got the best view of the pitch, have you? Let's be honest. I'm getting vertigo up here. For the second best stadium in Liverpool, it's not bad. It's not bad. Good screen in the corner. Is this the first stadium we've been to with a screen? First that I've noticed. There's definitely been other stadiums with screens, though. I'm going to assume that the person that lives here, next to Goodison Park, and has painted their house blue, is an Everton fan. It'd be a bit weird if they were a Liverpool fan, wouldn't it, being here? I mean, I respect the dedication. You know what, Everton? Your stadium's not that bad. In terms of Jack Does an Away Days, it's definitely up there. Of course, this isn't even the stadium we're visiting in game, but Goodison Park, as a football stadium, humble and biased opinion, 7.5 out of 10. People can let me know if I've been too generous or too harsh there. Maybe I should worry less about what people think of my completely arbitrary, meaningless rating system, but here we are. So a little bit of team news heading into this game. I have had to mix the team up a little bit. We've had the odd injury here and there, but the big one, Barry Kelly, has been out for an extended period. You can see here, torn knee ligaments against Huddersfield Town. That was back at the start of December. He is still out for 2 to 6 weeks, so a massive, massive blow for him. Especially for a player who doesn't really have the best physicals anyway. To have a, 2 to 3 month injury is bad. Now, we have coped without him, but it has meant a little bit of a shuffle around of the team. One player who has been playing a little bit more frequently as of late has been Liam Stewart. He has found a home for himself as our deep line playmaker on defend. You can see here, he actually suits this role really, really well. With him dropping deeper, we've moved Panny into the box-to-box midfielder role, and then Earthy has gone into that shadow striker role to be a more attacking presence. Probably does play into his strengths a little bit more. Elsewhere in the team, we do go with McGrath, Williams, Beckford. That has been the go-to back three for a little while now. A player who, of course, was amazing for us last year, has been used sparingly, especially in this run of games where it has been more hectic. There has been a bit more rotation, so he has got plenty of game time. And in the final third, it is going to be Kamara and Apshawn. Apshawn has looked pretty solid recently, to be honest. 6 goals, 2 assists in his last 10 games. Did have a little bit of a break out the team with an injury, but back, ready and raring to go today. Kamara to his left. And if we look at the condition, did rest the players ahead of this game. We are fully fit and raring to go. Of course, that all comes with a caveat. We are playing Premier League opposition today. We are turning up for a payday. We've been to the church pre-game. We've bowed our head. We've said our prayers. I mean, this is their team. They've got Calvert-Lewin and Dwight McNeil still in their team with Onana, and then a load of regens that I don't know if I should be scared of or not. Just did go and check. Apparently Onana is considered their key player. He is blooming good, I will say now. He's under a transfer bid of £43 million from Bournemouth. How did Bournemouth have £43 million to spend? All I'm going to say is when you look at this list of teams, one of these teams that's interested in Onana isn't like the others. Bournemouth in this save game, currently 8th. Have they had like a tycoon takeover or something? They did have a tycoon takeover 7 years ago. They had a takeover in the first year and they've been a mediocre mid-table team since. I don't know what to think of it. Anyway, now that we've had a look at the adventures of Bournemouth, probably should get our head into the game that we've got here. It's a big game. This is a massive stadium, by the way. I'm hoping it's going to be close to a sellout. I mean, it's a 50-something thousand seat stadium. I think it was 59,000 seats. I'm kind of not expecting it to be completely sold out, but given that we get 50% of the transfer revenue, I'm looking at this stadium thinking there's lots of people who have actually turned up to witness us hopefully cause an upset. I do feel like the three at the back maybe allows us to set up a bit better against superior opposition, a few men behind the ball in that defensive area to hopefully keep things close, at least initially. Maybe we can do a bit of a smash and grab. Maybe we can just completely outplay them because Apshon has headed it to Earthy and it was offside. It wouldn't have counted anyway. I mean, considering we're a team that love to have possession, the fact we've only had 39% and we've not had a shot inside the first 20 minutes isn't great. On the flip side, Everton haven't had a shot on target either. Why did I say anything? They've got a free kick, dangerous area, back post, McNeil. It's hit Andrew Omobamidele and gone in, but I didn't even spot it. The flag's raised, it's offside, it's not going to count. Half an hour into this game, we are very anti-football, aren't we? The 0-0 draw against Reading last episode, I'm now looking at this game thinking, not exactly a classic, but as an underdog team, this is blooming brilliant. They've done nothing in this half so far, as I say that, 2 shots on target, but they've done nothing in this half so far. We're setting ourselves up for the smash and grab. I can believe in it. I'm starting to see a future where it could happen. McNeil, Rigby, saved. I thought I'd really jinxed that there. That was actually, I was going to say it was an okay save by Rigby. The actual effort by Dwight McNeil was absolutely atrocious. And, well, we might still have a little bit to deal with here. Ball floated in. Rigby, though, collects it. I've never doubted the Aussie. He's amazing in goal. Half-time, 0-0. Going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. I actually secretly deep down inside think that's an okay half. Worth saying, if this game stays 0-0, I think it goes to a replay. If miracles happen and we can hold on, we'll probably do the replay in this game. I probably should check the rules, though. I do feel like the FA Cup rules have changed a little bit over the last few years, but I can confirm there is a replay if the score's a level after 90 minutes. Right, can we create something going forward? We've not yet had a highlight in our favour. It's Beck with the ball, giving it to McGrath. Now Scotty Williams with it at centre-back. Lays off to Beckford. Everton pressing high up the pitch, and, well, in doing that, they forced us to go long. It's not great play going forward. And now Wan-Bissaka in Everton blue is bringing it down the near side. Lays it inside to Sabanda. He's going to lay it to Onana, who's going to spread it over to Olvera. Down the line it goes. Options queuing up in the middle through the defender's legs, but cleared away by Scott Williams. Still plenty of men behind the ball. Still a storm to weather. Wan-Bissaka, right back. Getting in on the overlap. Squares it across. And I took the mick out of Dwight McNeil and his finishing at the end of that last half. And inside 7 minutes, he scored here. Pretty simple for Everton in the end. Moving the ball from left to right just caught us out. Plenty of men in the box, but no one picking up McNeil. And, well, we survived 52 minutes, which I think we deserve a sticker and a lollipop for. You know, like when you go to the dentist and they give you something for being brave? Can we have something for getting this far on the FA Cup? I don't know. I just want a badge that says I survived at Everton for 53 minutes. Can we make that happen? They're on the attack still. Rigby saves. Okay, breathe a sigh of relief. Let's remain calm. You know what? We've got subs to make. Jay Haddo, not having the best of games. We're going to take him off and bring in Hassana. Callum Williams at left back, trying to force him out the club. Not working so far, so we'll give him some time in the spotlight here. Apshon's on a booking. Take him off. And you know what? We're going to make it a quad. I can't make it a quad number of changes. Do I want to make 3? We'll make 3 changes. This could be a gamble. I'm so used to making 5 subs, and in the FA Cup we only get 3. Right, you know what? We are, I don't want to say we're running short on time, but at this point here, we probably need to go just a little bit quicker forward, shall we say. Let's tell the wing-backs to get on attack. Let's try and get a few more men into areas where maybe we can make something happen. We need them to commit forward. They need to provide us a bit of width. At the same time, we are going to be leaving ourselves exposed, but I mean, we've got 24 minutes to try and make something happen. And instantly, a highlight is going to kick in. This is either going to be genius or an absolute disaster. But having changed our wing-backs, focusing in the wide areas and also telling the wing-backs to get forward against maybe a tired Everton team, that seems sensible, at least in my head. Rigby in goal for us. What can he do? I'm bigging him up here. How's his distribution? I mean, look at that. Inch perfect to their defence. McNeil with the ball for them now. Everton have been in control of this game, but it's still only 1-0. You've got to be in it to win it, and we are still kind of in it, at least for now. McNeil through the middle. Calvert-Lewin, he's very good in Football Manager. Massive tackle by Beckford, but it's going to fall all the way to a man whose name I'm not even going to try and say, because I think I'd probably offend the nation of Romania. That looks like a Romanian name to me. I'm going to assume it's Romanian, and we're not going to check because I don't want to be labelled an idiot by you guys. I take it back. He is Romanian. Radu Ngurinu. I've definitely said that wrong. I don't know why I suck at reading names so bad. Even just reading names I struggle with. For someone who talks for a living, my reading is quite, it's not great. You know, when the YouTube thing dries up and no one's watching Football Manager anymore, don't think I'll be doing audiobooks. Although, maybe I could be. What's just happened? How's that gone in? I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but Williams at left back. I've told him we're putting him in the spotlight to maybe get him a move. If anyone's watched this game, they're not bidding for him after that defending. He's kicked it into our goal off the post. 4 minutes of added time here. I actually don't think 2-0's disrespectful. I mean, 3-0 doesn't look quite as respectable, does it, though, to be fair? Oh, my baby, are they time wasting? Are they? I think they're time wasting. They've switched it to João Pedro. He's quite good. We've got so many players back, and yet no one is stood on Calvert-Lewin. It's 3-0. We've been destroyed here. Call me a sore loser, call me bitter, I'm just skipping it. I'm just here for the payday. So going into this game, our bank balance was, I think, minus £50,000. It wasn't good, it was negative, that's for certain. The stadium looks fairly full here. How much is it going to have helped our bank balance? I don't know. I'll be honest, the £3,000 prize money doesn't really make a difference. What will potentially make a difference is the gate receipts, and we checked the finances. We have made £650,000 off that game. You know what? £650,000 to get pounded in front of 40,000 people doesn't seem like that bad of a deal. I've realised what I've said there sounds questionable. Please don't take it out of context. Anyway, we're going to try and make amends. We've got a League One game still to play here. It's against Fleetwood Town. They are a very mediocre mid-table team, but they are only 5 points behind us. They do also have 2 games in hand on us. So if we lose against them here, they probably will end up finishing above us. Apparently, it's heavy snow predicted, so we might get an orange football for the first time in this series. That would be exciting. Going to join you guys for that one. It's in 4 days' time. One little bit of news, some good news, I think. The youth recruitment is going to be improved further from average youth recruitment to above average youth recruitment. Eventually, surely, we've got to produce a player through our academy who comes in as a regen and is actually good. Sadly, that year is probably not going to be this year. It's easy across the board, and I'll be honest, Clayton Green, great lad, great head of youth development, great value for money. I am starting to doubt him slightly. Or maybe perhaps I'm just unreasonable in the quality of player I want to come through our team. Either way, we've got a game here against Fleetwood. A couple of the teams in our league have already played. As a result, we are no longer in the playoffs. So if we want to get in them, we need to win this one here. Unfortunately, we are rather short on centre-backs at the moment. In fact, if you just look at the team, we have Job out with an injury. Scott Williams is suspended for today's game, which is annoying. Arnott's coming back from injury. It means Beckford, Apaya, McGrath is the back three, which certainly isn't us at our best. Elsewhere, I have dropped Owen Beck for today's game. Hassana is going to come back in and play at right back with Haddo at left back. And elsewhere in the team, the rest of the team is unchanged from the previous game against Everton. Feel like it'd be a tad unfair to drop anyone based on a game against Premier League opposition. This is the kind of game that if we want to sustain a playoff push, we need to win as the home team against a team in and around us. It's going to be big. Being realistic for a moment, I think a mid-table finish, especially with all the financial stuff going on and the transfer embargo and the inability to improve the team, I feel like that would be kind of good. I am also hoping that because of the Everton game and all of that money coming in, that might impact our wage cap. If not for this year, hopefully at least next season. Anyway, Fleetwood Town, the away side, bringing the ball forward, ball whipped in, Hassana heads it away, all the way to a man with the name Diggin. I hope that is a real person, because it's the best name ever, and, well, maybe I shouldn't praise their players, especially when they're getting assists against me. It's 1-0 Fleetwood, and that was all very, very simple. One side of the pitch to the other, Hassana headed it away, and I'll be honest, at this point here, it felt safe. There's not really anyone in the box, but all of a sudden, Jones peels back and Rigby has not covered himself in glory there. Fleetwood Town bring the ball forward here. Jones cutting inside. The observant amongst you might have noticed we haven't got heavy snow today. The weather forecast changed in the last few days. It's very England where you don't get the weather forecast right. And well, it's very Guernsey when in a game that you'd argue should be one of the more winnable games we have, we find ourselves 2 goals down inside the first 20 minutes. To be fair, Fleetwood knocked it around nicely and then, well, half a clearance and it's Diggin again. Why did I praise Diggin? Why did I say anything about that man? I mean, he's got a cool name. It turns out he's got a cool name and he can cross. He's their left wing back going into today's episode. He has 2 assists all season. He's got 2 in 20 minutes against us. Really, really poor showing in this game so far. Of course, we are missing a few players at the back. McGrath kind of needed a rest, but I couldn't give it to him. Despite the fact my kind of staff were telling me, hey, he needs to sit out a game. We have 3 centre-backs injured or suspended at the moment, which is less than ideal. And of course, Scott Williams is the best of those. That said, that doesn't really justify the fact we've been struggling to even get the ball forward here. Although maybe a rare opportunity for us to make inroads into their final third. Unfortunately, not on that time of asking. Although we've still got the ball. McGrath going to play it forward. Kamara, can he get there? He can. In behind, difficult angle. Blocked, goes out for a corner. Approaching half-time here, 2 goals to the good Fleetwood. Not had a load of chances, but the chances they've had, they've taken. And with it, they're 2 goals in the lead. Now, I do feel like they've punished us on this left-hand side, especially with Diggin coming in on the overlap. So I do want to change stuff, I think, to help us out on our right-hand side. And I think the change I'm going to make might be, well, I was going to say it might be a weird one. It's going to look like a weird one, but basically I'm going to bring in AC and we're going to play him out on the right-hand side, I think, as an advanced playmaker. AC is a very, very good player, a player who's capable of playing in those wider areas. Going to just hope that he can give us a little bit more coverage. Elsewhere, you know what? I think it's time for Brandon Charles. We're going to go with a double change to start this half. Our play here, not been a classic, not created enough in this game. We experienced this, I feel like, a little bit in the last episode where we took on Wigan and, of course, Reading. We managed 1 goal in those 2 games. Haven't scored against Everton, yet to score in this one. I do feel like Barry Kelly is a big, big miss for us. Of course, I mentioned in that recent run of games how many times we've only managed to score a singular goal. And is that down to Barry Kelly's injury? Maybe slightly. Is it down to a little bit of a lack of quality in the final third? Potentially. I think there's definitely a gap there in the team, be it a striker, be it a more creative option. Certainly, with what's left of the January transfer window, it might be a position I look to address. We are going to come back here. We need 2 goals, and that is something we have not been able to achieve frequently. But I'll tell you what, the build-up play's nice. Charles has scored. I thought he was offside there. The flag's not been raised. It is actually 2-1. I feel like I've really understated the celebration. Did anyone else think this was offside? Pani, Urfi, Kamara, Charles, that looked offside to me. Looked offside in the replay. I'm not going to complain. It's 2-1. 20 minutes left to try and find another goal back here. Let's make a few more changes. Pani has not had a good game. Gallagher's going to come in for him. Jay's not had a good game at left back. Owen Beck, in you come. And you know what? Let's make a 5th change. Calvin White. Not found himself on the bench too often, the 19-year-old. He's going to be the option we bring on here. I think with what's left of this game, I'm going to tell us to try and focus the play down the right-hand side and be more direct. I'm hoping we're digging, getting forward. Maybe we can get AC in behind. 10 minutes left to try and make something happen. A shout of demand more. Let's not write off our chances too soon. Could we get a rare second goal in a match? Stevens to Mensah for them. Oh my word. Let's watch our tackles a little bit, Beck. That was mental. Ball played towards Charles, who's not going to get there. Keeper brings it out. I was hoping for a second we were going to see one of those glorious highlights in Football Manager where goalkeepers do something weird. Sadly, not the case. Dealt with well, actually, to be fair, by the Fleetwood goalkeeper, but maybe still a chance here. Focusing it down that right-hand side. Charles in behind. Kamara in the middle. Hits the post. Gets the rebound. He's offside. He was miles off, wasn't he? Going to tell the team to go more direct. Pass into space in transition. Over the top and quickly. And can I shout? I can shout. There's 4 minutes of added time. Can anything happen? Football Manager. Magic, please. Never mind, no tickets to the Magic Show today. It's going to finish here 2-1. Probably a fair result on reflection. We had some chances in that second half, but sadly didn't take them. Our weird run of form continues, and now, suddenly, we find ourselves in 9th. And with all the teams ahead of us now with games in hand on us, I think we are now where we belong in League One. Mid-table at best. If we get top half, that would be pretty good, I feel like, right now. Our 6-game unbeaten run comes to a halt. Of course, of those 6 games, 4 of them, we only scored a singular goal in. We've kept that trend going in this one. Not exactly what you want to see. What I would say is, for a team who were predicted to finish 23rd this year, we are at least being competitive in this division. Looking ahead to next episode, I'm not sure what matches we're going to do, so if you want to plead your case for a Portsmouth away, a Plymouth Argyle away, and Milton Keynes Dons away, I'll tell you what, I don't know what you'd be able to do to convince me to go to Milton Keynes in a Jack Dozen away day. I don't feel like we've hit rock bottom just yet, but, I mean, Plymouth or Portsmouth, let me know in the comments. I want to say a bit of a mixed bag today, but it was just a bad bag. There was nothing good. Wasn't good and bad, it was just tragic. I guess we made some money, so that was good. Shame that we couldn't cause an upset, but you know what? As far as FA Cup runs go, to get knocked out in the 3rd round to Premier League opposition is absolutely A-OK with me. We will be back next time out. Maybe I've made some new signings. Maybe I managed to loan in some players. Now that we're not under transfer embargo, I can actually potentially get in some new faces. If you have enjoyed today's episode, do drop a like on it. We will be back again tomorrow with more Park to Prem action. Until then, take it easy. It is me, Jack, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.